All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the video. Hope everyone's doing well today. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, this is kind of a weird one for me to kind of kick things off here. So I know it's been a while since we've last had the opportunity to hang out. Or I guess it's been a while since I last put out any new content. I don't know if you saw my post from the other day, or if you're in any of the like social media groups and stuff, you may have seen me mention it. It's just a couple wolves over there. Yeah, I guess what I would say just kind of categorically is like, after kind of the slow days of COVID and things kind of started to be behind us, and everyday life started to sort of pick back up. Definitely got harder and harder to kind of manage recording and editing and all of the stuff that goes into publishing each and every episode. So it just kind of got to the point where if I was doing it, I wasn't really, I don't want to say interested in doing it, but my heart really wasn't in it. It was just something I was kind of doing to do it. Which, when I've taken breaks and things in the past, I've always kind of mentioned that. So like, I'm not gonna fake it. It's
too heavy.
Not who I am. Not what I'm about. Like, I do this as a hobby. I do this for fun. I appreciate each and every one of you guys who tunes in and watches what we're doing. But at the same time, I don't want to just like do it again for the sake of doing it. I'm generally regard myself as being a pretty genuine person, and so if I'm just playing the game and recording and chatting with you guys just to do it, that's not me really giving my 100%. And that was starting to kind of be where I was teetering before I kind of stepped away for a little while. And I don't know, maybe that's a good thing. If you ever feel yourself just kind of needing to take a break from something, maybe it's a shame we can't do that more in like everyday life. But I don't know how long it's been, maybe 5-6 months, but yeah, kind of where I'm at. So that all being said, yeah, I started to miss it. A lot has changed in the game since I know that I've last been here. There's been a lot of new releases and things that even, honestly on my own time, I haven't really spent the time to experience. And so that kind of brings me to what I want to do. So I've already got a run fired up here. This is Stalker. And what I want to do with this run, let's adjust my microphone here really quick. What I want to do with this run is sort of delve into all of those things that I have not experienced yet, or never really got into before. I did kind of decide to step away, because I've played a little bit, kind of off and on while I've been gone, but I think I maybe had one run that went like 80 days, or maybe one that went 50 or something like that. So I've played, but not to the extent that I would say that I like am really abreast with all of the changes and things like that. So yeah, so this is a Stalker run. Let's see, what day am I on here? What looks like day 11, day 12, something like that. So basically I've just kind of fired up what I would kind of consider to be my standard Stalker start. So I've talked about this in the past. If you don't recall, or maybe never saw one of those episodes, it's probably not good to do the same strategy every time, because it kind of gets stale after a while. But generally for Stalker runs, like, I will spawn into Timberwolf and basically hit the summit on the first day. And that is what I did. So I'm reasonably geared at this point. I usually come away from the summit with 2 expedition parkas, and then like from there for summit, I'm totally like, good to go, temperature wise for the rest of the run. That's why I do it, right? Because like basically you can get up there day one, get all of the clothing and stuff you need. You get, a bunch of food, a ton of water, tools, equipment, really everything that you need to like realistically be almost like late game, like on day one, and then you kind of are free to do whatever you want from there on. So that's what I've gone ahead and done. So I've kind of just been walking around, surviving, kind of getting myself prepped. A lot of times what I'll do on my own stalker runs is I'll just basically hang out in Timberwolf, for, you know, the first like 50 to 100 days, kind of just like getting my character built up and stuff. You know, I'll usually try to level up cooking and things before I kind of set out to go explore the rest of Great Bear. Man, I was kind of gonna plan to do that before really bringing you guys in, but I'm just so excited to like get back and start making content that really, I guess you could say I'm probably putting this out before I had originally planned to. So yeah, so I think we'll probably just keep working on this run, trying to get you know, again, to the point where we're pretty solid and, you know, we can travel and do things and not really worry about anything, and just kind of get out there. And I want to do the tails. You know, I've never even done Signal Void and, you know, all of the subsequent tails. I want to kind of experience all that. I've never done Faithful Cartographer on PC. Obviously we had a Faithful Cartographer series that we did on PlayStation, and that one is an interesting one. If you watch that series through to the conclusion, you know what happened in that one. But we've never done it on PC, so that is a achievement that I do not have. It's a badge I don't have. Something I'd like to do on PC. I'd like to eventually kind of get all of the badges on PC, so I've got some ways to go and stuff like that. But I'm thinking maybe we kind of work on these. I kind of want like this run to be like all of the above, right? Like I want us to be working on things, whether that's an achievement, a tail. You know, obviously there's going to be new content that comes along still as well. I want this run to really kind of cover it all. So kind of got some lofty aspirations for it. But it'll be fun. I think it'll be good. It'll give us a sense of like always having something to do while we're here. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Let's go ahead and get Mackenzie here fed. Really to kind of fill you guys in on, I am gonna try and start to kind of live stream some more, which traditionally in my, you know, history of the channel and stuff, that hasn't really been something.
Find some water.
Really hasn't been something I've done. I've done it a little bit. It's probably been a couple years since I've live streamed. I've enjoyed doing it. It just like I've always had this mentality that like I didn't have time to do it. And that was why I focused more so on like the episodic series and stuff, and kind of approaching it that way. It's because I could record anytime I wanted to and edit, and he scared me. That sort of thing. But I've like come to realize that I think doing the like episodic series, which I enjoy and have always kind of been the bread and butter, actually probably takes more time than streaming, right? Because like what I can do if I'm streaming, and this is just how I have it all kind of worked out in my head, so bear with me as I try to explain it to you guys. There's something right over that hill, and I know the deer already went by me. Just barely heard that. Yep, look at that. That's clutch. Thank you, headphones. Yeah, I just like barely heard him right before I crested that hill, and we've died that way before, coming over the hill right into something like that. Totally lost my train of thought. Oh, what I've kind of decided with streaming versus recording is that it realistically probably takes me more time to, you know, record and then edit, and then I gotta come up with like a title and a thumbnail and all of that sort of thing. Whereas like streaming, I can kind of just like turn it on and go. You know what I mean? Like I can still put out content. If I stream, it's still gonna get loaded to the channel as a VOD, right? So like it's still there. People that aren't available to watch the stream live can kind of circle back and watch it later. So I haven't figured out like a schedule or anything quite yet. But I think I'm going to kind of get back in and maybe dabble with that. Just as, again, a way to kind of keep active without like the pressure of like having to, okay, I need to have 2 episodes recorded this week. I need to get these 2 episodes edited and that sort of thing. Because that was kind of what was really the big detractor for me, is I kind of needed to step back and take a break. I could shoot him. I don't have a bow yet. He's coming back towards me, I think. So yeah, so more to come there. I have a few things I need to kind of do to get my desk and everything prepped. That's one thing that you guys, if you've been around for a while, also know about me, is I'm constantly changing my desk configuration and office configuration. Kind of got it hopefully in the final form now, I say that. But it's subject always to change, but it's just, you know, not set up for live streaming at all, so I'll need to kind of dial it in a little bit for that. Nothing crazy, but still. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, kind of what I'm thinking. What else is important for you guys to know? Kind of trying to think. What in the world? No way, he didn't die from that. Are you kidding me? I shot him square in the face. I am flabbergasted. Is that him? Or is that a different one? That's gotta be him. How bizarre was that? Not even the fact that he survived the gunshot, but the fact that he, like, was just... I'm sorry, are you bleeding? Can you please explain to me what's going on here? Those are his footsteps. That's him. Trying to decide if this is the same one we just shot in the face or not. Okay, yeah, it is. There's some blood down there. Weird. Well, that's kind of a shame, because, like, we would have had some free meat right at our doorstep. That's why I, like, didn't hesitate at all to pull the trigger on him. So now if we want him, we'll have to go track him down, so... it is what it is. But yeah, so let's take a look at some stats and things. So ideally, before I kind of set off on, we'll call it the big journey or great journey or something, of where we, you know, we're going to head to far territories and sort of get into starting the tales and those sorts of things, is I would like to be at cooking level 5. That's generally something I always do in my stalker runs. So we'll try to get that knocked out before leaving. What else? Carcass harvesting kind of just comes naturally, right, with the cooking. Like if I'm hunting, I'll kind of get harvesting as a byproduct of, you know, all of the wildlife and stuff that I'm going to have to carve up to eat. So we'll get that. That'll be nice. Fire starting. I don't typically, like, keep too close of an eye on fire starting. In Stalker, I don't know that it's really too much of a concern, but maybe if we could get that to, like, level 3 before we head out. Ultimately, I'd like to get everything to level 5 in this run as a part of, like, the all-encapsulating, like, let's kind of do it all idea. That's kind of what I want to shoot for. Yeah, so got some work to do for sure. For sure. I really wonder how far he ran. I could go back around the back way and see if I can find the body. I've been waiting for this moose that spawns right over here to show up as well. It's like, so I said this is kind of like my normal playbook for Stalker run. It's like I'll go up to the summit day 1, I'll come down, then like I immediately try to kill this moose. So I've got, like, you know, not only like a source of food, but I can start working on cooking level 5 like right away with all the meat that you get off a moose. But he hasn't been there. Which is kind of like changed my whole plan. So I'm kind of just like, I keep checking back to see if he's spawned over there, and nothing yet. which really is fine, but we're fine on food for a while because we hit the summit. And we could go back up to the summit to get the rest of the food because I didn't bring it all with me when I came back down, but it'll be okay if we don't get a moose for a while. I usually try to get like the moose and the bear that roams around, so I can, you know, really start getting some stuff to cook. How far do we think this guy ran? I mean, theoretically, he could still be running, right? What else was a little bit weird for me on this run? Like I said, I mentioned the parka. I only found one up there. Usually you find two. There were no crampons at the summit. Usually there's a pair that, you know, spawns in that backpack. Those were not there. So that's been something else that we'll have to purposefully go over to Ash Canyon for. I guess I could craft the makeshift ones. I've never done that before. Maybe that would be a good time to try that out. What else? So as a part of my usual spawn, I also will venture into Pleasant Valley to go get pots to make water. I think maybe unless you just kind of like get lucky, you don't have a pot here typically in Timberwolf. So like if you're planning to not leave Timberwolf, you have to pretty much make all your water in cans. Oh, that's a deer. We may run over and grab that skin though, off that deer. We could probably stand to have the food and the guts too, but I'm really interested in trying to see if I can spot this wolf. But I only have one pot at this point. I have one pot and one pan, which can make a pretty good amount of water from, but it's not the full complement of what I would want to have. Because usually what I'll do is when I do go on little like expeditions away from Mountaineer's Hut, I'll take a pot with me, and it's kind of like I've got a pot, but I always know that I've got my couple of pots back at my... I hear a wolf. There's one right there. I say I hear one scared. I wonder if that was the one I shot. Still alive somewhere. What else is kind of unique so far? I don't know. I'm sure something else will pop in my head, but it's kind of where I'm at in this run. So really our purposes for the near term are just basically kind of getting solidified. We'll need to make a journey over to Ash Canyon for the backpack, and we want the manufactured crampons. We'll need to do that as well. Which, I mean, obviously if we go there for the backpack, we'll get the crampons just as like a byproduct of that. Man, he's really cramping my style here. Could shoot him. I don't want to burn through all my ammunition. I found the revolver in Pleasant Valley. I had a Mackinac jacket. I found that in Pleasant Valley as well. So that kind of took the place of needing that second expedition parka. But I've definitely still been cold at times. So I'd really like to find another expedition parka. I just got myself stuck. Nope, I'm good. What else? My boots. I did actually just get attacked by a bear a couple of days ago in game. I took a phone call while I was playing and I was muted, or I had muted the game and I was on the phone, and walked right into a bear. So I've repaired some of the stuff already. These were much higher condition. They were probably close to the other pair because I kind of like repair everything as well after I go to the summit. So like I might get these snow pants and they might be like 30-40% condition, and then like, you know, you get a ton of clothing and stuff at the summit, so I'll harvest a ton of it and then repair all of the clothing, you know, that I'm going to keep. And so you basically start out with a set of like pretty decently conditioned clothing items. But that bear really kind of destroyed everything. I had a different hat originally, and that was completely toasted. And the boots took the brunt of it as well. They were at like 50. I've repaired them once, and they were like 50-60%. They're down to 18. So ideally, I'll find another pair before I have to repair these, or I'll make the deerskin boots. But I gotta obviously have deer skins to do that. But yeah, I got a phone call and I just hit the quick like mute on my keyboard, and next thing I knew I was staring up at a bear, and I kind of just had to accept it. And I was bummed because I thought I was like had wasted this run, because like the spawn I got on this too, like I don't know how to explain where it's at, but where's that deer at? Is he down? No, there it is. There's a spawn you'll get sometimes. It's like the next rope that you have to climb is the rope to Secluded Shelf, which basically means you have to climb that, which is a pretty short one if I recall correctly. And I want to get all of your footsteps. Thought I did. Maybe it's just the wind. Let's just be the wind. Alright, well, let's get this done before the weather gets worse. But yeah, there's a spawn right before Secluded Shelf, and so it makes your trip to the summit like super quick. Like you skip the rope. You skip one rope because you've already, like, you're in the middle of the two. So you basically just have the rope up to Secluded Shelf, and then the last rope from like the other side of the transition cave up to the
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
And so it's like a great starting spawn because you're like not even fully tired by the time you get up there. Versus like the spawns, some of the spawns you get like would put you right next to like the landing gear over there or something like that, and then you've got to go all the way to summit.
I could eat a horse.
And I usually end up like having to sleep in the cave by Secluded Shelf to get enough energy to climb up the last rope, and you got to keep moving the whole time because you're risking frostbite and hypothermia, which if you get either of those right out the gate, it's kind of a bummer. So I was like, getting attacked by this bear, and I'm like, oh no, I've wasted this whole great start. But it worked out. I managed to survive. I was actually on the phone with my insurance company for my vehicle. Oh, there he is. He's dead. But the problem is he's dead. Oh, he smells me too. He's dead right out in the middle. So he must have like gone up there and then curved back down. I could maybe shoot this one though if he's gonna follow me over here. I can't outright eat the wolf meat right away because of parasites. So what I usually do is I'll like, if I can nab a couple of these guys, like A, I'll get their skins, and then B, I can tear them up into tiny pieces and cook them. Yeah, I was on the phone with my insurance company. My vehicle got backed into the other day. I have a pickup truck, and it was like, sometimes what my wife and I will do is we'll, see if I can get it closer. Come up here. I want to try and see if I can get that same scenario where he parks himself right in a kill like avenue. But like on Friday nights or something like that, we'll feed our kids something. Oh shoot! Let me in. And then once they go to bed, we'll where'd he go? Oh, he went back down. I need him to come up here. We'll feed them something, and then after they get off to bed, because they're both pretty young, so they go to bed fairly early. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna run off now. Oh well, we tried. That's fine. We'll go get something, and so it was like 8:30. And I went into the restaurant.
Too much stuff to carry.
parked in there, like pick up, like to go area to go in and grab my food, and got like in the door and up to the little counter to where, you know, you tell them you're there for a pickup, and like a bunch of workers just like swarmed behind me. It was like, is that your truck out there? Do you drive that truck? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, somebody just hit it. And I'm like, oh, great. I could maybe hit him from here. Playing chicken with this wolf right now. Yeah, come up here. A little closer. A little closer. I don't want to miss the shot because I don't want to waste the bullet. And I didn't get the kill. So I went outside. Why? What's with him like immediately stopping running? So I walk outside. I can see the back of the other vehicle from like my vantage point of coming out the door. But I can't see the back of my truck. I'm like right next to my truck, but I can't see the back of it. In the back of this lady's car that hit me, like her trunk is like basically in her back seat. Right, like her trunk is just destroyed, and her taillight's broken. But anyway, I see her truck. I can't see the back of my, or I see her truck. I see her trunk. I can't see the back of my truck at all. But I see her trunk, and I'm just like, oh no, my truck is just destroyed. Right, like something that did that much damage to her car, surely like also destroyed the back of my vehicle. So I turn the corner on my truck. She's still in the process of pulling forward away from. Is he gonna go get that deer? Is that the one I just shot? Like, you're bleeding out and you're gonna go try and get yourself a deer? But I turn the corner on my truck and he did. Well, that's fine. That's 2 meals for us. We gotta get out there though. And there's like no damage at all to my truck. There's some scratches and stuff, and there actually did end up being some damage that I need to get fixed. It's just like stuff that was bent, that like you wouldn't just like notice. But like my father-in-law works auto body and has, you know, for like 30 years or whatever, and he looked at it and was like, yeah, there's some stuff here and here. But yeah, there was like nothing other than some scratches wrong with my vehicle. And I was like, oh man, got away. I missed. The aiming in this game still frustrates me. I get it shouldn't be too easy. That might have been the one. That's the one I already shot anyway. So that was kind of a waste of a bullet. Other than it scared him off from here. Let's eat something really quick. But, so I look at the truck, everything. She's finished pulling her car forward. She gets out of her vehicle. And basically cannot walk a straight line to save her life. You know the walk you do in this game when you're in the Ono zone.
It's getting kind of heavy.
You know,
it's getting dark out here. Time to look for shelter.
You're close to death and you can't walk a straight line. You're just trying to like get to your shelter or something, but you're dudes. Okay, he went after that. Man. That's another easy shot for us if we can get over there while he's eating that. I might dump off this meat here.
Not sure why I feel so tired.
And so, yeah, it turned into a whole deal because she was, like, obviously intoxicated, which is unfortunate. I don't, like, and I've been in other accidents and things. Like, I've been rear-ended on the road or, you know, it has happened when I was, like, in high school or whatever. Like, I've backed into someone's
anything
vehicle.
right now.
Like, accidents happen for sure, and I always try to be nice to people. I mean, like, if you guys have been around the channel for a while, you know I'm generally pretty level-headed. Try to be a good person. I'm gonna, like, switch. So I've had this idea. Let's try this. This is not the same wolf. If this is the same wolf and I'm shooting at it a third time.
Surrounded by snow, and nothing to drink.
I'm not doing well on the kill shots right now. Oh, he's going after. Oh, no, he's not. I was like, oh, we're going to bag another one right here. I lost my train of thought again. Oh, I just generally try to be... We did over there. What is with these wolves? That's got to be this one I just shot that went over there and attacked that rabbit. But yeah, so generally try to just be kind, be nice to people. You know, they obviously didn't mean to back into my vehicle, right? Like, you know, anybody who's ever done anything like that, if you've been the one that's like hit someone's car, like immediately feel terrible about it, right? Like, great, I have to go deal with this. I have to go, you know, tell this person or face this person where I've just, you know, damaged something that's very important to them, right? Vehicles are usually a large investment. People care about their vehicles, and if you've damaged it, like, you feel terrible. And so, you know, yeah, I know that. I know that she didn't intentionally hit my vehicle and whatnot, but it's like, so like if I'm in an accident, and if we had just been in a normal parking lot, normal situation, you know, I would have just exchanged details with her and like said, have a nice night. But like, you know, like I said, she got out of the vehicle, totally stumbling all over the parking lot. Like, you know, I'm trying to talk to her and she's like not.
I'm so tired.
Like, she was having a full conversation with me, but it's not really a coherent conversation. So we started, you know, I asked her about her insurance, and she was going to go to her car to try to find her insurance information. And while she was doing that, where this happened is right next to the outdoor seating area at this restaurant. And so plenty of people saw the whole thing happen and like saw me standing there with her. Oh, he died really close.
All I can think about is food.
I stopped that because I didn't want to lose well-fed. So anyway, while she's in her car doing her thing, I walk over to a table and I was like, you know, what I asked was, you know, like, does she look intoxicated to you guys, right? Because the other thing I was fearful about, even after the whole thing went down, is like, I don't want to like get somebody in trouble. That's like, I don't want to make that assumption that she was intoxicated, because she was an elderly. I say elderly, but she was probably 50s, 60s. I don't want to make the assumption that she's intoxicated and have her not be. Did that really set back the whole progress on harvesting that? That's frustrating. And so I got their opinion, and they're like, you know, yeah. And I was like, you think I should call the police? And they're like, you know, if you do, like, if you let her go, ooh, look how gross that rabbit looks. You know, you are potentially saving someone else's life, right? Like, if I let her get in the car and drive away, you know, she could pull out into the very next intersection and hit somebody. So I was like, yeah, you know, you're right. So I called the police, and they came and did the whole thing and whatnot. So yeah, it was quite the experience, and I felt bad, but I did see later that she did get picked up for DUI. So like, I felt a little vindicated that, you know, maybe I'd done the right thing, but was an interesting night for sure. First experience with like, you know, a drunk driver, or first experience with like calling the police on somebody in front of them. You know what I mean? Like, she had gone to her car to get her insurance, and I had started calling the police when she was in her car, but she came back before I had finished the phone conversation. So I was like actively on the phone with the police when she walked back up to me. She's like, I don't know who you're calling. And I was like, I called the police, and, you know, I tried to play it off like, because like I've been rear-ended like out on the open road at like a stoplight before, and, you know, called the police, because that's like generally what you're supposed to do, especially if you're like in the middle of the road, right, and like you can't move vehicles and stuff. And so I was like, I think that's what you're supposed to do, you know, when you're in an accident. So I kind of like played it off like that, like knowing full well I definitely called, because she was not well. And so I'm just like standing there with this lady, and come on, pick that up. And I've just called the police on her, and, you know, she's got to know in her head that she's in a heap of trouble. And of course, I'm then the bad guy who's called the police. But yeah, so it was interesting. So I'm like standing there with her, you know, she's getting upset, and I'm like desperately like, you know, come on, cops, get here, please, get here, please. So I live in a large city, but you know, like if anybody that lives in the city, you know, it's generally like if you think about a metropolitan area, right? It's generally made up of a lot of smaller cities, you know, suburbs and things. And so like I live, yes, in an urban area, but the city itself is not really all that large. Maybe like high population density, but low actual like square mileage. And so it's like, and I'm maybe 2-minute drive from the police station. I'm like, where are they? Like, I'm standing here with this drunk woman that I've just called the police on. Can you guys please get here? And so, yeah, they showed up and did their whole thing. But, like, it was just quite the experience, I guess I would say. All right, I guess we could probably head off to bed. Oh, wow, it's like middle of the night. Anyways, yeah, I don't know how I got on that whole tangent. If I don't know. If it's been a while, or maybe you've never tuned into my channel before, I kind of have a different approach, maybe I would say, is that I'm not really here to like, I don't consider myself to be like a long dark expert or something like that. Like I'm not here, I mean, if you guys have questions about the things that I'm doing or how like I approach a situation, like I'm definitely happy to kind of tell you what I'm doing in my thought process, but like I'm not here to, I don't know, it sounds weird saying that, like I'm not here to educate. Like maybe you learn from watching me play, or you know, just because I have experience in the game, or you know, some of you guys are probably more experienced than me, and that's totally fine. But I'm just here to hang out.
I've never been so hungry in my life.
Just here to hang out, chat, have a good time. And that's what kind of excites me about live streaming as well, is to get some of your guys' live reaction to my misfortunes and stories and things like that. So I am kind of dwindling on food. I have some stuff set over here, but we need to probably get some food cooked up here. The deer, that's right, I killed the deer. Just kind of take stock real quick. Put that down. Could maybe make a rabbit hat since one of my hats got destroyed by the bear. I guess I don't need to, I was like, I don't really want to go out in the snow, but I already harvested that deer. I just need to get it. And then we've got that wolf. I do want to harvest the wolves because having their meat to, let's see if I can go shoot him. Having their meat to harvest, or having their meat to cook and get the experience for cooking level, is like my whole strategy here. Which, so the more meat I can have, basically, like if you don't know, and I know a lot of you do, so bear with me. If you don't know, like cooking experience, you get it per item you cook, regardless of how. And I'll explain what I'm doing here as I pause for a second too. Try not to get too close. I always miss this shot too. Oh no. Hey, you just keep doing what you're doing over there. I want the shell casings, but I'll pick them up after we do this. Oh, see, that's, yep. I missed, totally missed. So where to start? So I generally play on controller. I think a lot of you guys know that. But I'm like seeing, is it easier? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I just despawned. Interesting, I hadn't seen that before either. But in my head, I'm like, is it easier to aim with keyboard and mouse, or just like with my mouse? And it is 100%. You have more control. So I set my controller down and grabbed my mouse. Is what I did there. I still missed, but it is what it is. I think that's like the second or third shot I've ever taken from my mouse. Do these don't cure in here, right? Like they have to be in my cabin.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Maybe we can lead him back. We'll just keep doing this. We'll just take him back to our cabin with us. He'll follow us up there. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I was in the middle of some conversation and got distracted. You'll also, if you haven't been here before, or recall that happens to me a lot. I just enjoy... I enjoy talking. I don't know that that's true. I enjoy telling things to you guys and then getting your reactions, but maybe that's the better way to put it. These might catch me because I'm so slow right now. But man, if I could down one of these guys right here, that would be super convenient. Because like if I want to harvest that wolf on the far side, I need to start a fire next to him so he thaws out.
I need to find food.
What do we have on us for food? Chips. Maybe if we cook this deer meat today, that would probably be a good idea. That would feed us for a few days. Alright. That one was square in the head. Let's go get him immediately so he doesn't have a chance to freeze, because I want to quarter him, because that's kind of like what I'll do for cooking level 5. Just cooking level in general. And the big advantage really to having cooking level 5 before we set out is no risk of the parasites, so I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat. If I see a wolf, I can shoot wolf, eat wolf. If I see bear, shoot bear, eat
horse.
Bear. Harvesting 2. And so that's really why I like to have it before I kind of set out. And it's generally not too hard to get. You just have to have the resources, right? Like you have to... Let's put that back up and drop it over here. You just have to have the stuff to cook. And so what I will do... Put you under there. Is I will cut this meat into the smallest pieces I can.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
What can I eat? I need to just finish probably off the chips. Just eat for the day. And then I want to harvest this wolf meat, and then we'll start a fire to do our cooking of the meat out there. Okay. So, oops, let's do bare hands. Oh, it's going to be difficult. Yeah, this wasn't a very big wolf. So, and maybe the next one you'll see this better, but like if I go up to the top, like I'm going to harvest it all and then go back down, usually what you'll get is a small little sliver. Like it would be 1.1, and then if I push it like one more time, I might get one that's like 0.05. And so for cooking level, there's really no reason for me to do it any less than... Oh, maybe there was. Yeah, okay, we'll do the next bag. Cooking level, it doesn't matter what you cook or how big you cook it, how big of a piece you cook.
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
Just that you cook. And so if you can get as many small pieces as possible and then just cook them all, you get more experience that way. So... Which is great to, like, if I get a bear, because then you get, like, 1 million pieces of bear meat to cook that way. I usually won't do it to the moose, because the moose I actually need to eat. So like this piece came out 2 pounds, over 2 pounds. This piece is over 2 pounds. So I got 3 pieces from that first bag and 4 from the second. So that wasn't a great example because it didn't give me a small piece on that wolf. Wonder if it's gonna like full on blizzard today. Irregardless, we need to fire. So. I think too the long dark.
Come on.
I have a good time playing it. Like, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. I almost enjoy it more when I'm doing it, like with you guys. Okay, so we need to focus on the deer because this is gonna be our actual food we eat.
I could eat anything right now.
And we can eat the wolf. It's just with parasites. Your chance of getting parasites goes up with every piece you eat, and it doesn't matter. It's kind of the same. It doesn't matter how big the piece is. So like if I cut all that meat into tiny little pieces, you don't really get any calories out of a tiny little piece, but you do get the risk of parasites. So you kind of almost are sacrificing that wolf meat because it's too small to eat safely. If that makes sense. Oh, I need to get more. Let's put this out here. It doesn't cook any faster in the pan, I was curious. So I'll just throw all of our sticks. I really need to get out to that wolf if I'm going to get it. Maybe tomorrow's mission. This rock file is the start of where I'm going to build caches and things. What I'll do in the meantime is I just will drop my meat out here, right? Like generally you always want your meat kept outside because it'll stay I guess fresher longer. It'll, the quality. Ooh, I need to eat. The condition of it will stay higher longer if it's outdoors versus indoors. So
It's dusk, so night can't be far behind.
What I'll usually do is just
need a drink.
Flop it on the ground like this. But with the cache, I'll kind of makes like a little outdoor refrigerator. So I'll put all my meat in that and let it sit in there instead of on the ground. No real reason to, other than it's something you can do, and maybe it keeps the place a little tidier than versus because sometimes if I go shoot a bear and like I said I'll cut that bear up into a million tiny pieces. Tempted. How long do we have on that? This is going to take another 42 minutes. How long will this take? 45 minutes. I'm thinking. I'm scheming. And that's all the meat I have, right? Let's cook up this piece of rabbit. And then 14 minutes. Eat that too. Really, we should probably eat another piece of deer meat. How much longer are we got on this? An hour? $27 minutes. 29 minutes. 42 minutes on that. So I'll stash this meat somewhere else. Do I want to do one more round? Let's just go ahead and do one more round of these. It's getting late, but it's not too bad yet. I want to try and get that wolf harvested tonight. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So try and make the most use out of this fire. 16 minutes. Go here. Although these might be worth eating because they're fairly large pieces. You can basically just eat one a day, though. Okay. Wish I had like a stick. Any loose sticks on the ground. I don't want my torch to go out either. Don't see any. Alright, well, let's try and make this work. Use this torch to start my fire. The other benefit of shooting all the wolves in the area is that it keeps it safer. Right? Like, there's no wolves around. They're all dead somewhere. Okay, so we need the fire to heat him up. So, because he's frozen right now. Oh, I do have some sticks. Okay. Still only a 60% chance, but we'll give it a go.
Come on. Come on.
Okay, try again. Torch, 15%. So ultimately, the things I really need to do, and I could do, sorry, I'm
That's done.
Keep a couple sticks back. Thinking it's 97% frozen. I kind of want to go get my pots and use. So the fire is there primarily to warm him up. But I might as well throw my pots on there and do like a round of water while he thaws out. It's just starting to get cold too. Maybe we'll just grab the one pot. Never quite understood the fire on the ice situation, but it works. It works, it works. Stuck. I can't do anything. I'm bugging. What to do, what to do. Let me quit, yeah. I don't know the last time it's saved. I mean, if I can't do anything, I can't do anything. Really won't have an option. Just trying to think if there's something I can do to like force it. No, okay. I think we just try and quit. See how much time we lost? Oh no. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. Okay. Well.
I need some water.
Yeah, we lost about a good amount of time. Drink our water. Well, I think maybe let's go ahead and call this an episode there, or, wrap this video up. And I'll basically kind of just redo everything we just lost. That's unfortunate. I don't have too many problems with that. Something weird just happened there as I was in and out of the menus, but I do know a lot of people have said that they're having problems with the game lately, particularly over on Switch. I think some console players I've seen issues. I haven't really experienced too much. Obviously, we just had a bug there, but yeah, it's unfortunate. So, like I said, I'll just kind of like maybe get us back to that point. I don't really know for this yet if I'm gonna do like just a continual like episode after episode. Ultimately, like I mentioned the streaming thing, ultimately this will become what we stream, and I'm just like kind of considering this like video, like I kind of wanted to get something out to you guys to say hi, and this is just kind of like me prepping the the run for all the other stuff I talked about wanting to do. So maybe I'll put it on another episode if you guys tell me it's something you're interested in. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So I appreciate y'all tuning in today. I know, like I said, it's been a while since we've done this. Hope everyone's kind of been doing well. Excited to kind of get back into the channel, get back into putting some content and things out. But yeah, I appreciate you tuning in, hanging out with me, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.